When dealing with negative space, we're dealing with the space that is in between and around positive spaces. So for instance, this space right here, this right here, this shape right here, the negative space actually makes a shape, or a series of shapes. I'm going to zoom in on this little thumbnail here. I'm going to have to do this kind of quickly for brevity's sake, and I'm going to hone in on this area and maybe this area here. I'm going to shift this over to this section. I'm not drawing the positive spaces. I'm drawing the negative shape. You don't have to worry about line quality the way we did in previous exercises. This shape should come over a little more than I had it. Okay, it's okay if this is here. We're going to fill some of this stuff in. Or just let it be for now. Where you have a positive space right here that's overlapping another one, we just don't draw that. Right here, for instance, we do not make that connection. It stays because we're not drawing positive spaces. If I were to continue this, it would go way up here. I'll come down to this area where this positive space that we call a bottle . Okay, so notice this space and this space. Now, a couple of things we could do. I'll show you another example. In this example, right here, I've taken a Sharpie marker and zoomed in on this section and drawn it right here and colored in the negative spaces so that you can see the positive spaces. This is a quick drawing. It's not one that there's been a lot of time taken on. So on this one, I'm going to color in the positive spaces and no, I'm going to do the same thing actually, sorry. I'm using a Sharpie marker in this case. I think one of these large ones works really well. And you could do a positive or negative coloring in. Either way works. Vine charcoal works really well, with the exception of it creates a lot of mess. So a large Sharpie marker makes really nice clean edges. And can make these things look really crisp and kind of like an abstract drawing. Now you're still noticing that the positive spaces line up, but you're just using your negative space to make those connections. This is really important in drawing because you can look at all the spaces that are in between and you have distances and angles and everything else. It's really important. There was a famous jazz piano player named Thelonious Monk, and he used to say it's not the notes that are so much important as the space in between notes. And that's what we're doing here. It's making you aware that there's the spaces in between positive spaces play a large role in your drawing. Okay. I'll get that little section there that I need to work on. Boom. Okay. So you could fill these in, make sure they're nice and crisp. And you can take an eraser and knock these areas down as well. and you have this kind of interesting, almost abstract drawing. And I could still come up here and work on some of this shape that's showing. There's not a lot of it. For me, all of this over here kind of falls off the page. It's okay to zoom in because negative space drawings for some reason look really nice zoomed in. And there we go.